sickle in the sweet grass. And of course, we all loved it. We didn't understand a lot of it. Some we understood. But then Bill did tell us it came from a dream, and it had an interesting sort of life as a dream, as I recall. Was it 3 nights or something like that? He kept dreaming this, and then he finally wrote a poem about it, and then no longer dreamed about it, as far as I know. And so we have the poem, and so it's like a dream. And so, yeah. It's called Sickle in the Sweet Grass. And it has subheadings like the poem Mike just read. The first subheading is Kitchen. At night, under the street lamp, I go up the steps into the kitchen. I am never invited. I just appear. Looking on, I stand in the doorway, waiting for some sign. The sickle line in the sweet grass appears like some photograph. Its sepia fingers urging me forward, past the old woman standing at her sink. Stairway. One of the panels behind her is a small door. If the time is right, it opens to a stairway, and each step takes me back to the blue hills, unpainted landscapes, bookmarks that tell me I was here. In this valley of past lives, mesas of stored memories, stepping up to this landing, the chorus of other voices, other rooms. My grandmother speaks in a voice I had forgotten, like she was holding keys to these rooms. I turn left into one room and I see a circle of women, deep in conversation, singing for my soul. I walk quietly outside their circle and they end up looking at me, waiting for me to enter the circle. I remain suspended from them, but as I turn to them, they flee like monarchs heading south. The soul hidden, but dust from their wings remain. Attic. Grandma, there was a treble sewing machine upstairs, along with letters from your folks in Ireland under Grandpa's fishing hat. Sometimes I could see you working that treadle with straight pins in your mouth like cigarettes, determined in the place where you needed to be. Back to the landing, I see other doors, and if the time is right, one of the doors will open. Sometimes a key is another landscape or song. Then other times, it is just a key. Tumblers and a lock line up just like the old man said. One step in and volumes line the walls. The complete Shakespeare, the lives of painters, unknown titles saying what was expected all along. Millions of years codified. Lifelines of trappers' diaries. A guide to unraveling cave paintings. A guide to ancient music. Books of keys to every cell in the brain. And the sickle laying in the sweet grass. When the house is silent, when the heart has made peace with what comes, I find myself in stairways once more, and there is no time to see my books again, no time to trace the template of hallways, no time to answer the faint calls of traveling here. I glance at the sickle in the sweet grass, and I close the door.
This was called When Audiences Listened to Solos. It was the 50s, the heady post-war. GI Bill, one salary, FHA, come to our house. New car, your first TV, your hit parade, jazz clubs when people besides musicians listened to solos. Bebop like that soothing bootleg hooch coming down that superhighway right out of the bell of a tenor saxophone. Round midnight, Smoky Dark Bar, Last Call, Lonely Hearts, I'll be seeing you. It was all so easy when we pulled together for the war. Now Hopper catches us in two-bit diners, watching the street, hoping for light traffic to lull us to sleep, to dream of something bigger. Red Scare, I Led 3 Lives, Communist Conspiracy, Our Country, Right or Wrong, Leaning Right. Bomb Shelters, Duck and Cover, I Pledge Allegiance to the Flag. Protect Us, the march to defeat the Reds before they steal what we have, to subsidize all the bums on the street who are not like us. Government should protect my job and all that I buy, I worked for. And so can everybody else. Don't let them fool you. Give them an inch, they'll take a mile. Then the Reds among us will just smile.
Old Revolutionary Road. Old hippies and revolutionaries are now a demographic, a guest at costume parties. Buy yourself some beads, get some brothers and sisters, sit in, march on, be here now, burn your bra, let them flop, strike a blow for freedom. Hippiedom reign, actors dance in the street now, down Revolutionary Road to stardom, on their way to oprification, then naturally to obscurity, bite-sized morsels to the willing. Old hippies lose our grip. We scrape against some cartoon portrayal of the ugliness of nomads supported with old money, principles bagged and thrown into landfills along the old Revolutionary Road.
This next poem is called Homeless, and I want to recall something, Bill. Was it New Year's Day that we took the clothes down to the Day Center for the Homeless? Yeah. Bill clearly has a feeling for what's described in this poem, but really in the city of Tulsa and those parts that a lot of people don't go to. This is called Homeless. I offer a winter coat to a man in shirt sleeves to shield him against wind in the flooding light of day. Refugees gather round, dark stories fill their cups, stealing numbness from their hands. If I listened instead of banging my discomfort at them, I could walk down the street and sit with them in the pinpoint heat of a Bunsen burner, listening to tales of the day's catch from an overlooked dumpster.
This is Letter from Colorado. I made it back to Pueblo, but it seemed to take forever, although the car did fine. I just had too much memory and not enough breath to let it rest. We should have made love that afternoon, but I could not leave us hanging again. And I know how you hold on to moments and how you can avoid picking up your journey. The snow coming into town was lonely, and the smell of pine made me cry. Was it for you or for me? I don't know, but I do know I miss you like crazy, and I know you must feel the same. We draw our weapons at the feet of loss. I guess we're companions in this, but try to see that you had to be clear of me so you could paint and write, start moving through canvases like before. I'm writing this letter just to see how it feels. I hope you feel better, that these words will comfort you. If not, then burn them and travel to a space which is free of me. And
finally, our last one, Keepers of the Stones. First, there were cave walls alive with stories. Then there were tablets with 10 revelations. Then one God here was taken from the earth and stretched out above the sky, and we lost our way. Stones were clacking inside turtle shells, in amulets swinging from the neck, as the Cherokee dances before moon calls us home. Stones were holding spring waters that cleansed them on their return to spirit, resolving the past and the present into one great circle.
We actually finished at 8 o'clock, so we've done our part. If you would like to ask Bill some questions, where does his brilliance and inspiration come from, whatever, I bet he would even autograph your book for another prize, right? Bill, do you want to say anything?
No, I just really enjoy reading my work for people. Like Tom says, there's a real difference in speaking poems. It comes alive when it's spoken. So it's a great opportunity to be able to speak these poems. And Mike did a wonderful job in helping put it all together. And Dennis and Tom did a wonderful job in helping coordinate this. So I thank everyone. So, thank you.
Have a couple copies of the book left, if you haven't bought one yet.
Yeah, since there's only 2 left, I think